humiliation. It doesn't just hurt, it lingers. It embeds itself in your mind, looping on repeat long after the room empties and the laughter fades. It resurfaces in the quiet moments, unexpected, like a ghost. But what if I told you that humiliation isn't the end of your power? It's the beginning of it. See, the Machiavellian doesn't fear public shame. He absorbs it. He uses it. To most people, humiliation feels like a death sentence. To the Machiavellian mind, it's an invitation, a carefully staged setup for what comes next. Because where most see defeat, he sees leverage. Where most see collapse, he sees inversion. But before you can flip the script, you need to understand why humiliation is so powerful in the first place. It's not just about being embarrassed, it's about positioning. When someone humiliates you in public, they're not just mocking you, they're seizing control. They're rewriting the narrative before you even get a chance to respond. They're stealing status in front of others while you're left holding the emotional bill. They're testing your reaction, not for laughs, but for dominance. And most people, they fail the test. They explain, they defend, they lash out. Or worse, they go silent, crushed beneath the weight of the moment. But the worst possible move, showing that it bothered you. Because the instant you flinch, the moment your voice cracks or your eyes dart, you give them what they wanted. Proof. Proof their words landed, that you're shaken, that they have power. So what's the Machiavellian move? You don't respond to the insult, you respond to the audience. Here's the cold truth. In a moment of public humiliation, the crowd matters more than the attacker. It's not just about what was said to you, it's about who saw it happen. That's your battlefield. So your counterattack, it isn't verbal, it's psychological, it's theatrical, it's strategic. Step 1, neutralize the stage. When someone mocks you, they expect you to react, to look emotional, embarrassed, flustered. That's what gives their performance impact. Instead, you do nothing. Not weakness, stillness. Calm, sharp stillness. You hold eye contact. You don't blink. Maybe a slow, deliberate smirk. It's not for them. It's for the room. You're sending a message. This didn't break me. This barely touched me. I'm calculating, not collapsing. And that changes everything. Why? Because humans instinctively fear what they can't predict. Silence from someone who's just been humiliated. That's deeply unsettling. It makes people wonder, what's he thinking? Why isn't she reacting? What do they know that we don't? The energy of the room shifts from mockery to uncertainty. Step 2, reframe the attack as a confession. This is where the Machiavellian mindset becomes lethal. He doesn't dodge the insult. He exposes it, not as a weakness in himself, but a need in the attacker. Let's say someone takes a jab at your past, your failure, your appearance. Don't explain, don't argue. Just say something quiet, something precise, like, "Interesting how badly you needed to say that," or, "That's a lot of performance for so little impact." What just happened? You turned their insult into an X-ray of their insecurity. Now the crowd isn't laughing at you. They're watching the attacker unravel. You've reversed the current of the room without raising your voice. This is psychological judo. Don't fight the force. Redirect it. Step 3, own your flaw on your own terms. If what they said is true, if there's something real at the core of the insult, you don't deny it. You own it, calmly, powerfully. Say, "Yeah, that happened, and I'm still standing while you're still reaching." Or, "They've tried that one before. It says more about them than me." This is what strips the insult of its sharp edge. You don't flinch. You frame your flaw as proof of survival. You're not afraid of being seen. You're immune to being controlled. The Machiavellian doesn't hide scars. He polishes them until they shine and blinds. Because true dominance isn't about appearing perfect. It's about being unbreakable, even when you've been broken before. Now here's the twist. You don't need to win the moment. You just need to control it. And control doesn't look like aggression. It looks like calculation, stillness, composure. Humiliation loses its power the moment you make it boring. Most people think being humiliated is the end. The Machiavellian knows it's only the setup. Let's take an example. Someone smirks and says in front of a group, "Didn't you mess that up last time too?" Most people, they get defensive, laugh nervously, try to explain or shift blame, but not you. You pause, let the silence stretch. Then you say, calm and surgical, "You've been holding on to that one for a while, haven't you?" Now the moment isn't about you, it's about them. Suddenly the crowd sees it too. The jab wasn't clever, it was rehearsed, obsessive. And now the spotlight shifts. The attacker looks petty. You look untouched. That's the reversal. You didn't deny the moment. You reframed it. You weaponized their attention and turned it into a confession. Here's a deeper tactic. Make their insult sound like projection. If someone says, "You're trying too hard," you tilt your head and say, "That's an interesting thing to notice." You speak from experience. You didn't insult them. You exposed something. You made them explain. And now they're the one trying to justify themselves. No energy spike, no loud reaction, just cold precision. That's what terrifies them more than anger ever could. This is status judo. You turn their punchline into your podium. Because here's what people really remember in those moments. Who looked in control, not who was right, not who got the last word, just who held the room. So your voice, the stage, your silence, the suspense, your posture, the verdict. Speak only if you must, and when you do, speak as if you expected it all, as if it was part of the plan. That's how you turn shame into strategy. But what about nonverbal humiliation? Being talked over, ignored, excluded. It's subtler, but just as brutal. Here's what the average person does. They try to get back in. They chase the group's approval. Wrong move. A Machiavellian doesn't beg for a seat at the table. He flips the table. Step 1. Disengage, not emotionally, but strategically. Shift your attention. Look elsewhere. Smile at someone else. Open your phone. Start a new thread of conversation. Step 2. Build gravity elsewhere. Draw focus to you, not through force, but through value. A sharp comment, a moment of clarity, a calm presence. And suddenly the group notices your absence and wants it back. Why does this work? Because attention is power. And when you stop giving it to the people trying to embarrass you, they lose the only weapon they had. Here's another brutal truth. Most humiliation is rehearsed. It's not spontaneous. They planned it. Said it before, behind your back, waiting for the moment they thought would land. So you call it out, not with emotion, but with cold recognition. They say, "Don't worry, you'll get it right eventually." Maybe. You lean in, smile slightly, and say, "That one sounded rehearsed. Been saving it, huh?" Suddenly the laughter dies. The punchline collapses. Now they're the one who looks obsessed, uncomfortable, and everyone can feel it. You didn't shout. You didn't argue. You just reversed the lens. Let's go deeper. Sometimes your greatest weapon is no weapon at all. Just patience. Let them keep talking. Let them stretch the moment too far. Their hunger for attention will betray them. And once they cross the line, then you speak. Once, with precision. Say, "You seem really committed to this performance. and then go silent. It devastates them, because the moment was supposed to humiliate you, and now they're the one exposed, flailing, naked, under the lights. You didn't just survive. You reframed the entire moment, and you did it without lifting your emotional guard. That's real immunity, not because you blocked the attack, but because you made it irrelevant. You aren't afraid of being seen anymore, and that terrifies them. You're not dangerous because you're loud. You're dangerous because you're unreadable, calm, strategic, surgical, and that's where your power lies. Because true humiliation isn't a moment, it's a performance. And like all performances, it needs a stage, a script, and an audience. If you seize the stage, rewrite the script, and captivate the audience, you don't just survive, you steal the show. If you see me again, well, congratulations. It means you're starting to think differently. It means you're paying attention. And if that's the case, you already know what to do next. Because in a world full of manipulation, silence, and strategy, you don't follow the noise, you follow the power.